Hey chickies, here at Oh My Gosh Published, mistakes will be made as per usual. It'll be loads of fun, so you should totally subscribe now.
So today we are celebrating the release of Despicable Me 3. I'm so excited. Of course I'm doing a Minions mani, and did you know in this movie the Minions go to jail? It's terrible. Anyway, so I'm partnering with Universal Pictures and also a morning breakfast show here in Australia called Sunrise on Channel 7. I watch Sunrise every day. I'm not even kidding. This is not I'm not a beat up. I actually do watch Sunrise every day. But the most exciting part of this whole thing is that Sunrise and Universal Pictures are giving away, and I'm not even kidding, a whopping $20,000 to the person that comes up with the most creative Despicable Me 3 themed creation. And it doesn't have to be nails, it can be anything, like cakes. It can be, I saw a photo the other day of someone who had done crocheting of a minion, like a minion hat. It can be literally anything. Now I'm doing obviously the minions who have gone to jail for some reason. I haven't watched the movie yet obviously, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Why they go to jail, gosh, who knows, they work for a criminal. Anyway, so I'm doing that, but you can do anything. Now, I'll put details in the description box down below if you want to enter. Now, I believe it is only in Australians only entering things, so I'm apologise to those of you who don't live in Australia. It's for Australian residents only. So, but yeah, it's so much fun and so exciting, and I'm really excited to be able to do this. So anyway, oh, and don't forget, stay tuned till the very end because there is a bonus tutorial. Okay, so we're starting off with the Minions, as I said, and I'm starting off with a white base on all of my nails, 2 thin coats. I think I'm using, yes, I definitely use Sally Hansen's white on. You've got your white base down, you want to make sure that you put on a good quality top coat over the top of that before moving on to the next step. Of course, you want to make sure that that top coat is completely dry, about 15 minutes. Now, I'm using washi tape to tape up half of my nail, and then I'm coming in with a good yellow polish. The yellow polish I'm using is OPI's I Just Can't COPE-A-CABANA. Once you've painted the top half of your nail with the yellow, you want to take the washi tape off, or whatever it is that you're using to section your nail. You want to take it off straight away, and then what we're going to do is come in with a fine detail brush and diagonally paint the yellow down the sides of the nail towards the tip. You'll see what I mean. It'll be really self-explanatory if you just watch it. I'm terrible at explaining things. Next, we're going to come in with some black acrylic craft paint. Of course, we've waited for that all of that yellow to completely dry, and we're going to draw or paint the black line, which is where the eyes are going to go. Going to again use the black acrylic craft paint to outline that it's basically their bib. I think it's like a bib and brace thing, like for overalls. And so we're going to first outline that that shape where the white is, and then we're also going to do sweeping lines up towards the middle sides of the nail with the black as well. And that's actually, it's basically the brace bit of the bib and anyway, you know what I mean. It's very self-explanatory if I just stop talking. It's actually less confusing the less I talk, I think. But you guys are all like used to that, so it's not that big of a deal. So we're going to do the black and white stripes down that what's left of the white, and that will be like the jailhouse black and white stripes. Poor little things. I wonder what they did wrong. I'm sure it wasn't really too evil. Oh, that was an evil laugh. Next we're going to come in with some silver and a large dotting tool. We're going to create a sort of oval shape, which is the start of the eye that we're going to create. Basically the silver signifies actually the outer edge of the goggle things that they wear. I'm not sure what they're called. I think it's goggles. They wear goggles or glasses. It's goggles, isn't it? Yeah, it's goggles. Or for this particular minion, it's a goggle, just the one. Silver's completely dry. We can then come in with some white acrylic craft paint and we will create a very similar, the same shape but just slightly smaller, which will give us that silver edge. It's the quickest and easiest way to do it. The white is dry, we're then going to come in with a dotting tool and add a pupil. And then we're going to come in with a fine detail brush and again the black acrylic craft paint to create a little mouth. I haven't given him, well, left a lot of room for his mouth for some reason, but it's okay, I think it still works. At this point that I felt as though the little minion looked a little too innocent to be in jail, so I came back in with a little bit more of the yellow once all of that, the black and white was all dry, and added some little eye hoods which makes them look a little more shifty. Oh, so cute. I love doing minion manis. I've done 3 now, 3 or 4. They're on my channel. You can go and check them out anytime you like. Finally, want to go ahead and seal it all in with your favourite top coat. Of course, I'm using Seche Vite as per usual. That's it for the Minions Mani. I really hope you liked it. I hope you try and give it a go. It's so much fun. I know there's a lot of steps in it, but it's actually a lot easier than you think. Now for the bonus tutorial, we are doing Agnes's unicorn. Oh, so excited, so cute. Isn't it the most adorable unicorn you ever did see? So we're starting off with a white base on this one. This is a really, really easy one to do. Again, white base, I'm using some hot pink acrylic craft paint. Basically, to start it off, all you need to do is paint a very fine line around the tip of your nail, and that is basically, you'll see from the photo before that the unicorn has like a pink band around its nose, so that's why we're doing that part. So this is actually super easy. Because I do recommend that you use acrylic craft paint because it makes your life so much easier if you stuff it up, which I am apt to do quite often. But the thing is, you can redo it as many times as you like. Of course, I've got a coat of Seche Vite over the white base, so if I ruin this or do a bad line or something like that, I can easily clean it up, so I'm not worried at all. So next we're going to come in with some white acrylic craft paint and my biggest dotting tool, and I'm going to create some eyes. Now I know what you're thinking, white on white, nobody's going to be able to see it, but no, that's not true. Trust me, it's not true. So we're doing one lot of white dots for the eyes. We're going to let that dry completely, and then we're going to come back in and do another set over the top of what we've already done, and it'll actually give it a bit of a 3D feel. And the white acrylic craft paint is a little whiter than my base coat, my base white, so I'm not concerned that you won't be able to see it. I know that you will be able to see it. So I'm waiting for the first set of white eyes to dry. I'm going to come in with some black acrylic craft paint and do the unicorn's nostrils, and they're drawn in such a way that it's actually quite an easy one to draw, so that's just like a square spiral, but it's only a very small one, so, and you've got to obviously do 2 of them. So I'm moving over to the middle nail, and I'm going to paint a good yummy gorgeous, delicious coat of Kester Black's Barbie, which is a super duper hot pink, and we're going to paint that over that entire nail. Yes, I have a white base, but that'll make the pink pop a lot more. It'll be much brighter. The first layer of those eyes are dry, so we're going to come back in and we're going to add another layer of the white acrylic craft paint with the dotting tool, just to make them stand out a little bit more. Whilst we're waiting for the second layer of eyes to dry, I'm going to come in with some yellow polish. I thought I was going to say acrylic craft paint, but it's not, it's polish. There's a lot of combinations of polish and acrylic craft paint in this one, and we're going to create the unicorn horns, but we're only going to do a portion of the horn, not the whole thing, because I don't have enough room. And to make the horn look a little more like a horn, even though it's not going to be a whole horn, we're going to come back in with a little bit of chromatic or very sort of chrome-like gold and create little lines to make it look like a horn or part of a horn. Now the eyes are dry enough for me to add the pupils, and to do that I'm using the teeny tiny dotting tool, and we're going to put some teeny tiny little pupils in the middle of his eyes. Next we're going to have a little bit of fun with a vintage nail product, because gosh, virtually nobody uses this stuff anymore. It's called flocking powder. We used to use this a lot like a few years ago, but it is the perfect thing to create a fluffy nail, because you know how that's one of Agnes's catch cries. She says, "It's so fluffy." Do not sound like her, because she's like 4, but anyway, so she says that. So what we're going to do, and that's why we painted that nail, the middle nail, really hot pink, because we're going to add a layer of flocking powder to that nail. To get it to stick down, I'm just using a little bit of top coat, just a not Seche Vite, but something just a little bit more light. I think I'm using Sally Hansen's Invisible in this, and then we're just going to add a heap of flocking powder to the nail while the nail's still wet, and like a lot. Like, yes, a little goes a long way, and everything that fell off onto the piece of paper underneath my finger went back into that little pot, because you know I'm totally going to use it again. So once you've completely covered your nail, you then want to sort of, you can pat it down with the pad of your other finger, or you can just use a other sort of tool. It doesn't really matter what you do, as long as you pat it down a little bit, because you want as much of the flocking powder on your nail as you can. And then you want to wipe off the excess just with a brush. You just want to brush off the excess. It's so fun. I love this stuff. I don't know why we stopped using it. It's probably a little impractical most days. So just using a fan brush to brush off the excess around the sides. So now we've got most of the excess off, I'm going to use my cleanup brush and my non-acetone remover just to give the nail a little bit more of a crisp look. Probably should have just left it looking super duper fluffy, but I don't know, I had an OCD moment, so I decided to do a little bit more cleanup just around the sides. But it stayed fluffy. Like I didn't have this on for a couple of days, so I couldn't give you an indication of what the wear would be for a couple of days, but I did have it on for about 6 hours, and it didn't lose any of its fluffiness, which I thought was really cool. And finally, you want to go ahead and seal your unicorn nail under a good quality top coat. Of course, I'm using Seche Vite as per usual. And that's it for this one. I really hope you liked it. I thought it was so much fun, especially with the flocking powder, because that was just so much fun to use after all of this time. Now, I think flocking powder is pretty much very easily available through eBay, Amazon, your good quality craft store. Geez, I think it's available everywhere these days. Anyway, thank you so much again for watching. I will see you next time. Oh, don't forget to, if you are in Australia, don't forget to look down in the description box down below so you can read all of the rules and how to enter and whatnot, and go and create some Despicable Me inspired creations and enter them in to win $20,000. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? Amazing. I wish I could enter. It's not fair. Anyway, it's okay. I'm not whinging or moaning. Anyway, thanks again so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, chickies. Oh, and thank you for subscribing, and thanks for that delicious thumbs up. Oh, and don't forget to go and watch my previous video, and subscribe. It's free. I'm going now. Bye.